This is my third reattachment of this same hairpiece in the last 3 weeks. So I first put this on 3 weeks ago and I'm reattaching it. I've shaved my head and I've pre-glued the perimeter and down to here. So now that it's dry, I'm just gonna spray alcohol back up there along the perimeter and get glue out of the bits of hair that got stuck in during the gluing process. While I'm here, I just want to examine this with you. I always have a bald spot here between my hair and the hairpiece. And I've said before that it's not just because I've done it incorrectly, but rather that this is receding all in there. Naturally my hair grows like that, and that's all thinned out as well. So if you look back at some old videos, you can see what it looks like for me to have not cut or shaved my head at all. I just look a lot older with thinning hair. And also this is the harshest light you can get. I mean, in other lighting, I look better. This is probably, like if you want, this is like medical, you know what I mean? So that's all just receded in there. So this, until I, like I've said, until I start shaving back further and making larger hair pieces, that's gonna remain gappy. I'm wetting the hairpiece so that I can see through it, but I will now have a chance to show you the new placement method that I thought of. So typically I would usually brush the hair in one direction, which would have been forwards so that I could see the placement there. But the new placement method requires me to fold it in half. Just dry it on the towel a bit. I'll fold it in half here. And we'll brush in either direction, there and there. Just looking at this against my hand, you can see that it's receded. A few hairs have fallen out of the front there. So this is why hair pieces are not infinite. The plastic is as good as new. It might look white along there, but that just goes away after it dries and stuff. So I'll just put alcohol spray on there so it can slide into position. But now I'll have better visibility. Just gonna make sure those hairs stay out of the way, back up there. This problem didn't happen last time when the hairs were not Really is a much better way to do it. Gives me really good visibility on both sides. There is some overhang there, but I can see it when it happens, so I can save it before it gets permanently stuck down. Yeah, see how there's overhang there? I can't have that on there, otherwise the white plastic will be visible. Okay, now there's no overhang. And okay, there's overhang on this side. Despite the shortcomings of doing this, it's still better than not having visibility at all. Gives you a lot better chance to aim the hairpiece. Don't get the alcohol in your eye. It was dripping right down there. I just let it go in there, and I would have stung. Yeah, there's some overhang there still. I was really tempted like a few days ago to shave my head. I ended up shaving there, and I thought, oh no, what have I done? That was ridiculous. Maybe I'll just shave my head. And I thought, no, wait, go back, have a look at some of the old videos. What do you look like with a shaved head? Terrible is the answer. So I stopped myself. I've just endured this really thin sideburns. Instead of trying to contour it in and stuff like that and just making things worse, I thought, because sideburns really annoy me. Because I'm a natural kind of redhead, grew up a redhead, and it just turned a bit browner as I get older. My sideburns are still orange, but they're going grey, thankfully. Not thankfully. And I thought, yeah, my sideburns being grey. And I looked at Kiefer Sutherland in Designated Survivor, which I'm currently watching. And he's much older than me. Well, not much older, I mean, he's probably about 15 years older than me. And he doesn't have any greys in his hair at all. So it's clear to me that if you're going to be in a television role like that, even though he's supposed to be older, he still has to dye his greys out, because there's no chance that he could get to that age and not have grey hair. And that would be a bit of a constant hassle. I mean, how long does it take before grey hairs grow back through? I mean, despite the fact that I do this, I get the feeling that dyeing my hair from grey back to whatever color I want, medium dark brown, which is what this is. It still feels like I'm lying, not aging gracefully. See, aging gracefully and being bald seem to be in two separate categories in my mind. Because being grey doesn't make somebody less attractive at all, whereas being bald does. That's why I guess I care about the vanity side of things, but not as much about the being old side of things. And it's not like any agent would look at my age and say, okay, well, we'll ignore that and look at his headshots. And we'll cast him as a high school student because he hasn't got any greys in his hair. I'll still get the dad roles and stuff like that. Okay, just reminding myself now that if I do not put enough glue along the front edge, it will lift. And another thing I was going to do, another thing I was going to show you in this video was poking up a whole bunch of air holes through this poly, because it's not summer, it's autumn, but still, every day the sweat causes less hold, and I could have potentially put on some no sweat or some Max Pro Sport before I put the glue down, but I've never found it to be effective. And I don't think there are many people on earth who wouldn't sweat with plastic glued to their head every single day. Unless potentially it has air holes poked through it. But I don't really have anything that's like a needle in this house, which is the size I'd want. I'd also want it to have a nice handle, because imagine pressing the back of your thumb against the needle head. I want it to be nice, or just something that's got lots of needles and just go clunk, because that potentially could stop the overheating between the hairpiece and the scalp. It still doesn't make me want to do lace, because lace already has lots of holes in it, right? The reason I wouldn't want to go to lace over this is because of the front hairline of lace being severely pain in the ass to clean every single day. Glue getting in there and getting in the hairs and getting through, and then you can't put a hat on because the glue comes through the mesh. This is still better. And if I was really in a hurry to leave the house right now, I could just, you saw me just put that glue on right just then, right? Like I've said before, it's not going to affect the hold for me to just push it down right now. The glue could squeeze out though. But if I was rushing out the door, I could do it. In fact, I am rushing out the door because I don't want to talk to you. I want to get back to watching Designated Survivor. So I'm just going to push that down right now and do my hair. By the way, because this is poly and because this is acrylic glue, Walker Tape Ultra Hold, I could jump in the shower straight after doing this as well and it wouldn't matter. So I really don't want to push down too hard on that front hairline there, because the glue might squeeze out. But I'm doing it anyway. And you notice how my brush is not getting caught in any mesh, or glue isn't getting squeezing through any mesh, because there isn't any mesh. If the holes were small enough, like from needles, then I think it wouldn't squeeze through either. Okay, so we both know, you and I, that the glue is not dry underneath this, right? And yet, there'll never be a time before I have to replace this hairpiece that I'll ever have to check it out again. Because there's nothing I'm about to do that's going to put any resistance on this hairpiece. So, that's done. And style. Finished. Okay. Cool.